Mugging, yeah, I'd be traumatized, man. I was coming from BKC, I was driving, and there's this one guy, उसने proper ट्रैफिक के बीच में मेरे पीछे बस है उसने रुका के मेरे को साइड में लिया है. Then I was like, okay, now if I try to confront this guy, I could have, but then I was like, not worth it. Yeah. So I was like, what do you want? And he's like, ये देख रहा है ये Balenciaga है, और मेरे को पता भी नहीं Balenciaga क्या होता है उस टाइम पे. I was scared also, but at the same time I realized that this guy just wants money. तभी मैं दाढ़ी भी निकाला था, तो I looked like a student. So I was like, क्या हो गया? He's like, ये किया वो किया, मैं अभी पुलिस को बुलाऊं क्या ये? And I clearly, and he was drunk. So then I transferred $1,000, and then he became like friendly. He's like, थोड़ा और दे दो.
A mugging which ends with a conversation. And not only a negotiation.
Yeah.
Dudeja was like, चोर का रोल नहीं करने के लिए कितना पैसा लेगा?
Yeah.
Like, you know, overacting का
The
पैसा.
best thing is I have pepper spray in my car. But I was like, not worth it right now.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's this. What that meant was. Welcome to the latest episode of the Radical Measures podcast. We are keeping this guest Rolodex moving, all right? Yeah. We are actually flexing at this point of time. We have connections, man. Deep connections in the comedy scene, I tell you.
Flexing and pulling in favors.
Yeah. I think it's more dependent upon somebody doing us a favor to flex. So that is the order, I think, if this is happening.
I just saw flex and pulling and I was like, let me just go. Completely ignoring reality.
Definitely. Yeah. So today's guest is Siddharth Dudeja. This guy.
Yes, thanks.
Yep. Yes. You see here, a funny comic, has a lot of work out on YouTube already. Not only that, writes for a lot of stuff that you might see on other mediums. Do check out his Instagram. You'll see the tag at the bottom over here. Follow him on Instagram. Check out for his live show listings, because I think that is the relationship he cares about the most.
Yeah, I think I'm done with this podcast now. काम तो हो गया जो करना
This is what we were here for.
Yeah.
He wanted 5 minutes, and after that we are going to shit on him for an hour. Alright, this is it. We thought we are going to have close-ups of you, make you look evil. We are going to learn from the best of the best in media.
Yeah.
Alright, to do that.
I want to be, मेरे को evil रहना है लाइफ में, but दिखा दो यार ऐसे बना के.
Oh, cool.
क्योंकि मेरे को कोई बनाता नहीं है evil. Like I'm always, yeah.
You
A
always
nice
been
guy.
the good guy.
Apparently, I am. So yeah, I want to be evil.
You want that currency. थोड़ा बहुत
थोड़ा, yeah,
public में
Yeah, that.
उधर.
Exactly.
हाँ,
Yeah.
क्योंकि बहुत benefits होते हैं जो तेरे को नहीं मिल रहा है ना.
Exactly. So you all can do whatever Zoom shots you want.
What benefit are you looking forward to? Like,
What's your number one क्या goal or aim in terms of getting evil?
That people should be like a little scared before talking, because right now they have like no boundaries. They think, oh man, he'll like hear anything and he'll listen
any
to us.
contraction of your name is okay now.
Yeah.
I think genetics are to blame.
Yes.
You will need plastic surgery to look evil.
Or just a scar. Or two.
Yeah. Two scars.
Two scars.
Two scars.
Minimum two.
Minimum.
It should
हैरी
be-
पॉटर का एक हो गया,
हाँ.
तो एक तो मिनिमम है.
और दोनों प्रोफाइल में चाहिए ना.
Yeah.
इधर से भी
हाँ.
evil, इधर
Oh,
से
yeah.
भी.
दोनों साइड से दिखना
That's very
चाहिए.
important. Yeah.
Otherwise, just people from the right are like, hey buddy, and you're like, अरे.
हाँ.
No,
And
what
the
is
left
wrong?
people are like, वो तो नहीं डर रहे. मैं क्यों डर रहा हूँ?
Yeah, that's true.
One scar is not a good. Two is the right.
Two
way
is
to
the
go
right
about
way.
it.
Yeah.
But that is the first thing.
Yeah.
Some distance from people. Do people just come and like take the liberty of confessing something weird, or just imagine कि हाँ ये conversation तो ये बात करेगा ही, ऐसा कुछ?
मतलब मेरे को आके लोग problems बताते अपनी, and even generally
Like
bitch.
personal.
Life problems, and like mainly like a people relation, like they bitch about someone else who are also my friends. But then I hear it, and then I'm like, I didn't want this information. You know, I don't want to be that approachable, essentially. And yeah, basically I have I'm like Switzerland. I have too many secrets at this point, but I don't let them out because it'll destroy the world.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Who knew?
Yeah.
The Swiss will, of all people, they have the button.
Yeah. They have
Neutral
it.
country has the worst red button.
Yes.
I'll just leak.
So basically, you don't want spoilers about your friends.
Yeah, I'm like, everyone's bitching about each other, and I'm like, I don't care, honestly, about both of y'all. So,
Also, it's a way of curating the bandwidth of conversations now.
Yeah.
Because if there are characters which are intertwining in the
Yeah.
two universes
Exactly.
and not the way you want them to,
Exactly.
then
Yeah.
keep it simple in your head.
Yeah.
I don't want there to be a remnant of this conversation with me.
Yeah, it
Once
all-
it is done, those are the worst conversations.
Yeah, it keeps coming back where you're doing something random and you're like,
Yeah.
why is my head filled with this
Yeah.
shit? Yeah, it's
Why am I
garbage.
thinking of this? Why am I thinking I can edit this conversation
Yeah,
now?
yeah.
What? Why
Yeah.
can? So it's better to avoid rather than edit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially after like how many years have you been at this pursuit called stand up?
Oh man, I started in like mid 2013.
Damn.
Yeah, it's
All
been
right.
yeah, it's been a while now.
A while now.
Now
Close
I-
to a decade.
All yeah, oh man.
So
yeah.
of course you know a lot of people. Of
He
course
just
you-
realized
Yeah.
there's so much more work.
Yeah, now I can officially be like, in my time stand up was like, I'm that guy now.
Yeah, I mean with the beard and the
Yeah,
hair and
Yeah.
whatnot, it's already showing.
Yeah, yeah.
There's too much wisdom reflecting on your face for your age.
Yeah, man. There's too
And
much.
it's not the
wisdom.
correct sort also. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's I feel is what people assume sometimes also. Okay, they are just not taking into consideration. Yeah, he is also in this pursuit only.
Yeah.
And he's at it in his own way.
Yeah,
There's no
yeah.
point in me sharing his problem because in a way he has his own locked up shelf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which everybody does.
बेसिकली डुडेजा को इविल बनना है क्योंकि फिर इविल लोगों के साथ कोई स्मॉल टॉक नहीं करता
Yeah, yeah,
वो
that's
वैसे
really
वो
important.
want,
Yeah, that's exactly what I want.
Nobody
yeah.
had small talk. Nobody spoke to Hitler. हाँ तो by the way ये कैफे तू ट्राई
Yeah.
किया है क्या?
हिटलर के
Yeah,
recommendations ले लो
yeah. We'll agree to disagree on the Jews, but the cafe.
Cappuccino here is buddy.
गेस्ट अप में किसी का फेयरवेल पार्टी रहेगा मेरे को बुलाने का नहीं है।
I like my coffee beans and my Jews roasted. That is what he went for.
Yes.
It's so great.
He
to
went
make-
for it.
Yeah, he went.
Yeah.
I mean, he went.
He
for
went
it.
for it. Yeah.
Dudeja was avoiding every point of
Yes.
this conversation.
Yeah. I didn't because he did. Then take it up with him. And that will happen. You can definitely go ahead and say that time and time again.
Yeah.
Whenever we touch upon a topic where you're like,
I
you
didn't
know,
say it. Yeah, just
we'll
to be
put
clear.
an animated thought
Yeah.
bubble like, अबे ये किधर जा रहा है?
Exactly. Yeah, comedy members like surviving and not getting cancelled or
Yeah.
like just stopping comedy for doing other shit. Like
Yeah.
I think that's also an achievement right now, just surviving.
Oh
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
It's you don't want to skate but people are putting rollerblades on your feet.
Yeah.
मतलब वो बच्चे को फोर्स करते हैं ना एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर एक्टिविटी
हाँ,
में जा रहे सब लोग स्केटिंग कर रहे हैं तू भी एंड यू आर जस्ट देन
हाँ.
ट्राइंग टू मेरे को चलने का था ब्रो ये क्या करा रहा है
Yeah.
दैट इज व्हाट इट फील्स लाइक नाउ समटाइम्स विद जोक्स
Yeah, that's true. And also like just staying off the internet really helps. Staying off social media really helps at this point because people forget about you. So any controversy pops up, nobody's tagging you. Like I'd rather not stay relevant than be relevant and keep falling for this.
completely agree to that because then you get pulled into internet has its own gravity.
Yeah.
तेरे को जाने का भी नहीं है वो रिपटाइड रहता है ना वैसा खींच लेता है
The internet small talk is way worse.
Riptide?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those
yeah.
are the producers who have come up with such a good setup that pulls in viewers. Okay,
Yes.
see that made a literature student made it work.
Do you have toothpicks also at the back?
Oh yes, that's
That's amazing.
We don't know how those got there.
That's
Yeah.
great. I'm like, I thought it's like a good vibe overall. Like it shows all your interests
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
With
It's got a
this, yeah. Or like to tow
yeah.
cars.
Cars. Yeah.
Obviously,
We
this.
hate traffic.
Yeah, that's Slim Jim. Then an astronaut.
Yeah.
And then Crusher.
everything
And then
we would like a
Toothpick, yeah.
sponsorship for.
Yeah.
Sort
Is
of
here.
we have represented.
Nice.
Like
Yeah.
if we want to produce something, hey, give us money, we'll do that. We
Yeah.
got a clap already. We've started rolling.
Yeah.
You know, this is just like we
Yeah.
would like to have this to go do us well, maybe not do a spot, but you know, we can sell automobiles, combustion engines. चल जाएगा यार, petrol जला और benzene. है क्या फर्क?
If you can get a toothpick company to sponsor you, I think screw every other, screw
Yeah.
Joe
Yeah, yeah,
Rogan's
yeah.
$1 million deal.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I'm sending a batch of toothpicks to the Spotify headquarters.
Yeah.
Excuse me, what are you missing out on? Do you have any idea? You know, oral care is taken care of forever.
Big toothpick is in our pocket.
That's what we went for. For money, big toothpick. You know, a market which nobody
Yeah.
tried to tap.
Yeah.
Genius of it. You see that?
Responsible for 40% deforestation.
Yeah.
I have 3 in my pocket right now. I always carry toothpicks.
Yeah, you just just throw it at trees, na?
Yeah.
ये देख तेरी औकात.
It's a great time for a recommendation also. There was a great Mitch Hedberg joke
Yes.
of a toothpick,
Toothpick,
where he says, sometimes I just throw a toothpick into a forest and say, you're
You're
home
home.
now. What a great joke.
Yeah. Mitch
He-
Hedberg, yeah.
What a great comic, dude. Definitely. I mean, who knew something as innocuous? You know what?
Yeah.
This is what this is now. This is our homage
To Mitch Hedberg.
Mitch Hedberg.
Now it's a Mitch Hedberg.
Now-
Yeah, Mitch Hedberg is the best. He's the best, like for me personally.
Yeah.
He's my most favorite comedian of all time.
He constructs jokes so beautifully. If
Yeah.
there is ever to be like an orchestra imagined
Yeah.
symphony, he had it with ideas.
Yeah, like there were three things that you need. Like, I mean, jokes to next level.
Yeah.
वो तो है ही. Secondly, like stage presence, which is just all by himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the 2-3 things that you need in comedy, which is writing jokes and being like, if I go and say a dog is always in the push-up position,
Yeah.
nobody's ever gonna like
Yeah,
laugh at
yeah,
it.
yeah,
But
yeah.
like when Mitch Hedberg says
Yeah.
it in his own style. So
Yeah.
I saw Mitch Hedberg's comedy when I started doing stand-up.
Oh.
And
Okay,
yeah,
so
and
he
time
was
and again, yeah, he's like
The first guy for you.
one of the first guys, but like the first, like he was proper guy who stuck with me for a while, and even now I listen to him once in a while. I'm like, okay, I need some Mitch
Yeah.
back in life.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a Mitch fix that you have.
Exactly.
You need it.
Yeah.
Just because the irreverence that he had for the world, and
Exactly.
the way he made jokes so silly,
Yeah.
and also you spoke about his stage presence. His
Yeah.
stage presence was so different to what existed amongst his peers at that point of
Exactly,
time.
yeah.
It was very diminutive,
Yeah.
calm. He
Yeah.
wasn't loud.
Yeah,
none of
exactly.
that.
Not the testosterone high
Correct.
as well, like which you
He
usually
was very
see.
different. Barabar. He was very different from the 80s comics
Yeah.
and all.
He was very calm about the fact that he had this great bit where he used to say, I was on Letterman. How many people saw me? on
Yeah,
Letterman?" Like, more people have seen me at the store.
Store, yeah. There's this one show called That 70s Show,
Yeah.
in which I don't know if you guys know that
Yes.
Mitch Hedberg was a part.
Yes,
Mitch Hedberg
yes,
was
he had
there
a cameo.
in the
Oh,
show
yes.
for
Yes.
one scene, and I still remember that joke.
Yes.
Because have you seen the show?
I've seen.
Ah,
the
so they
70s
are,
show.
yeah. So they, you know, the place where they used to hang out,
yeah.
the cafe. So he was the guy at the counter, and he's like, so who was the guy with the fuzzy hair?
Eric or Hyde, I think.
Yeah, whatever. I don't
Or
remember.
I think
one of the
Ashton goes-
characters,
one of the
went
characters
up to
goes,
him and
yeah,
he's
yeah.
like, so he's like, your order's here, and then he walks up to him and he's like, you know, you can just serve me on the table. I
The
pay
glasses guy, right?
Yeah. The
Hyde.
Hyde, yeah. I pay a lot of we are pretty regular customers. Yeah. He's like, I did not lose a leg in Vietnam to serve you food. Then he looks at his leg and he's like, you have your leg. He's like, yeah, exactly. I did not lose a leg in Vietnam.
And he says it in Mitch Hedberg.
And yeah, it's like just so off from the
Yeah.
whole show that like it's been forced into, like that joke has been forced into it,
Yeah.
and like a complete different character.
But it sounds good over
It
there.
sounds great.
It
It
like,
sounds,
it's
I mean, you
perfect.
still remember. I don't remember the character's name. He
Yeah,
was
yeah,
there
yeah.
for 9 seasons, 8 seasons, but I remember that joke.
Yeah.
So
And what a flip on the whole Vietnam thing.
Yeah.
Because the moment you hear that keyword, you're like, okay, you're speaking about war, blowing shit up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
it's going racial, who knows?
Yeah.
And he's just, no, it's as simple as,
Yeah.
I did not lose a leg. That's it.
yeah,
And in normal conversation, that makes no sense.
no sense. yeah.
And that's the best part about like a well-placed like comedy club, a
Yeah.
well-made comedy club. The ambience gives it so much, like adds so much to how a joke is received.
Yeah.
You know,
So
if
personality,
there's a
yeah.
personality, the right amount of darkness for honesty.
Exactly.
कि हाँ भाई चल मेरे को कोई judge नहीं कर पाएगा, मैं किसी को नहीं करेगा.
Yeah.
Let's just see if it is funny or not.
हाँ.
You know,
Yeah.
and
What other comedians stayed with you in that manner?
Since back then, or like in general?
In general.
in general,
There are like different phases all the time, but I like if there was a style, I would like go with like the, I mean, obviously apart from the Bilbers and
Yeah.
pre Me to Louis C.K. and, to mention that, and like these were obviously like they are really funny and all, but I like more like chilled out people like Mitch Hedberg or even Sarah Silverman for that matter. She's just standing there talking. Then there's this great comic called Joe Zimmerman, which I don't know people watch usually. He has one of the best 1-hour audio albums that I've heard.
Oh,
It
okay.
is called Smiling at Wolves.
Oh.
So it's all
It's a
about
great
like
title.
character. It's one of those albums again, which I heard back in 2015, but I keep going back to it. And it's like because all these are like more like character personality driven like Mitch Hedberg, these people. So थोड़ा शांत वाले, क्योंकि I also don't know how to like shout or like do something like a crazy act out, to be honest. I'm like इधर खड़े रह के सुना देता हूँ जो लिख के लाया हूँ, उसके बाद देख लेंगे क्या होगा. So
yeah, there's that thing about jokes also. Many comedians make this thing ki, oh, musicians have it easy, they just play their old songs again and again. Comedians can't do. But with our experience, like how you just said, you keep going back to songs and whatnot. Good jokes, you want to hear them.
You want to hear them again. I mean, I think it's only us though. I don't think everyone else.
I mean, like it's always a core fan base.
Also, like online, when you see some people are posting Rodney's videos and whatnot. Now, of course, Rodney is a legend. But still, like there is still an audience who will appreciate anything done well over time, I feel.
Yes.
Because the context of the art form is there anyway. But now you're seeing somebody who's really good at it do something. And that's always fun to watch, man. Like even on YouTube, like there's this person in Japan who does this walk around. Right? And he specifically goes to good cobblers. Because Japan, you know, as a society, sab kuch high tech, sab kuch and they go for the perfection. तो custom made जूता बनाने को जाता है, and it's very expensive, but they show the whole process of how that shoe is made. 21 million views.
Oh man, that's crazy. I want to go and watch this.
21 million people who are just because we all have shoes on our feet.
Exactly.
How many of us have seen how any sort of footwear is made?
Exactly, yeah. And this is all like, plus we are industrial revolution people, तो हम लोगों को पता ही नहीं. Actually जूता पहले वैसे ही बनता था. And now we are going back to that time as like.
You know who's going to call that video overrated? A kid in Bangladesh.
For them it's like everything's custom made.
No, they will feel cheated because here the cobbler is wearing
the child
a
labor.
He's wearing a suit, the fellow, and he's getting 21 million views. And here I'm stitching Jordans.
I'm not physically fit like the guy jumping on.
I'm malnourished. I can be used as the ball. I can't be the athlete. No, who does that?
Again, I didn't say it. Just putting it out there.
Talking about heroes, I remember you had this amazing story about meeting Stuart Lee.
Meeting Stuart Lee, yes.
Oh yeah, you
Can
did?
you tell us about it?
Yeah. When did I tell you about it? I want to know. Like,
you told me this when I was doing a spot at your show and Karunesh's show.
Okay.
So we were in Habitat was the show.
So it was crazy. I had gone to London and I wanted to buy tickets. So there was Edinburgh Fringe Festival for which everyone was practicing like doing their solo shows. So I went to the venue and I'm like, man, I want to like get in and stuff. And they're like, it's full. But there is a waiting list and everybody, they wrote like, if you're first, they'll write A on your hand, then he'll be B, I'll be C. Basically first come. So they're like, you can sit here. I'm sitting there having a beer, chilling, reading.
You had the alphabet A.
No, I had the alphabet, I think H.
Okay.
I think. So that's
quite
Quite
into the letters, into the alphabet.
Exactly. Yeah. And also like it's I think not more than a 60-seater.
Okay, so you're really pushing your...
Yeah, exactly. So what happened is all the people, they get in and then they're like, and then in the meantime, I'm talking to the people with the letters because now we have some friendship.
Common thing.
Common bonding experience.
Exactly. But they are
Pilgrims.
all like, but it's all like local London people, right? So they're looking at me and they're like, and I'm telling them that I've come from India and they're like, all, oh my god, like that's amazing, you know about Stuart Lee, because Stuart Lee as such isn't like as popular, right? In the sense that ke India mein.
Of course.
So and I was like, yeah man, I've been like waiting, and he was at the bar as well drinking, Stuart Lee, like in the inside section, and I could see him. And then they came out and they're like, okay, now we filled this thing, so A come, B come, whatever, C, D, and then H के पहले जो भी आता है,
G आता
है, yeah, it's totally fine. उसके बाद आता है, but yeah.
Now I know I have dyslexia.
तो like क्या हुआ कि they came till whatever G के एक दो पहले, and now everyone's rooting for me. Essentially, the people after me.
You are the underdog.
Like, I'm the underdog. They're like, dude,
story.
they're like, we can watch him whenever.
Because you're the only representative of this demographic.
Exactly. Yes. And they're like, you've come from India, you don't know, because I think that was one of his last shows that he was doing then going later on. And then it was like, yeah, Joby, HG, Aya, and they're like, it's over, and everyone was like disappointed. And then suddenly they realized that like one of the people who had booked a ticket, no, sorry, one of these letters I think had like blocked a seat or something inside, and that person didn't turn up.
So one opened
So
up.
only one opened up, and literally I was the last person to walk inside and sit, and then they put off the lights and they called, like it was like I was the last person. They were waiting. Immediate. Yeah. And after that, after the show, he was just outside Stuart Lee, and I just spoke to him for like 2 minutes, and he I think he saw what was happening there. So like, oh, you're the comedian from India who came for the show. I was like, yeah. And a
pretty
very,
cool man, that
very,
is.
very nice guy. And then he's like, just here's my email ID. He wrote it down. And he's like, if you ever want to watch a show, just like email me. I'll just sort you out. Come on. I was like, first of all, I was scared to talk to Stuart Lee, to be honest. Like, I was like, I don't know, but he was the sweetest guy. I've like, spoken
And that's a level
to.
of humility that makes you feel like, because usually when you meet your heroes,
Exactly.
there are very few moments which are reinforcing the heroism.
Yeah.
Usually it destroys it.
Exactly.
He's so human.
Yeah.
Or he's so, in his own manner, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, he
he's
didn't need
so
to do
cool
this. Like, that to give me his email ID and be like, if you want to watch a show. Yeah.
And that is very true, because an Indian comic over there, many comics in the Indian scene don't know Stuart Lee.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
So for an Indian person,
Yeah.
like, you know, to go and then be a comic and be, oh, it's good.
Yeah.
It's great. That's
Yeah.
something so different.
Yeah.
Is making its way there.
Yeah.
Like, imagine that he himself would not believe in the momentum of his work.
Yeah.
Like, that's how niche as an art form
I
it
have-
is.
You were his pick me up that day. He was like, मैं 2 tag extra try करूँगा."
I have one more story like that which happened,
Oh.
like because so remember Aziz Ansari came to Mumbai,
Yeah.
and it was his last show where we walked from Cuckoo Club to Sigdi to eat rolls. It was
Correct.
very weird. Aziz Ansari and Sigdi in the same sentence. For people who don't know, who are not from Bombay or Bandra, it's like a 1 kilometer walk.
Yeah.
So it was his last show after NCPA, all of that. He was doing an 60-seater Cuckoo Club, and then this was like around 1 in the night, where like there are cops outside waiting and all, and Sudeep and Sharon are like, hey man, we need to bounce. So he's like, who wants to eat food? So he calls up Sigdi, and he's taking suggestions like, what do I order? Butter chicken roll. Then he's like, who all want? And he starts giving the order, and then they're like, listen. They're like, how far is this place? We're like, 1 kilometer. They're like, okay, let's walk. And so we walk from Cuckoo Club to Sigdi. And even then I was talking to him, and I was like asking him about like New York comedy, and then I was like, like what's the scene with like Todd Barry? I really like him. So he was like, dude, how do you know Todd Barry? I'm like, obviously like one of my most favorite comedians. Like,
Of course.
yeah.
Genius
And
fellow.
then we spoke about like a few comics from like the like
Cellar scene and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
and just general New York and stuff, or even like Nate Bagatse, I told him, which is again like an unexpected name for him.
Yeah.
I'm like, we watched like most of them. So he was like, man, what's happening here? And I was like, the internet.
So it's American heartland.
Exactly.
It's showing
Not
a
even,
demographic which is not even city based.
City based,
Yeah.
exactly. It's like in the middle, like landlocked area.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Aziz is going back to US, guys. नया market है. Market है, मैं
नया
बोल रहा हूँ.
इंडिया में ही मार्केट है एंटरटेनमेंट का.
Also, it's pretty important, and it's a part of the this can happen to you in the entertainment industry frequently compared to like supposedly if you're working for Google.
Yeah.
How many times will you come across the actual owners of like Larry Page? What
Yeah,
are the names of?
वो तो निकल गया.
गया,
वो
हाँ,
निकल
तो-
गया. This guy, no? Satyan
Yeah.
Nadella. Wait. is it?
Sundar Pichai.
Sundar
Sundar
Pichai.
Pichai,
So,
yeah,
man, we
yeah.
don't know. Yeah.
We will run into them
We
at
will.
some cousin's wedding. We will
Yeah, I
run
don't want
into
to
them.
know the names of these rich people for no reason.
Yeah, you want them to introduce themselves to you.
Yeah.
Sundar, हाँ,
be like-
अच्छा, ठीक
I'm
है.
sure
Did
they'll
you-
also be happy. They'll be like, finally, koi nahi janta mujhe. I think they
But
might.
then that's where the scar will be a barrier. Like they'll be afraid.
Let them be afraid, man.
Yeah,
Anyway, yeah, they should be afraid.
वैसे भी तेरा Chrome slow है.
Yeah.
But chances are you won't run into them a lot. But if you're in the stand-up scene,
Yeah.
you might run into a fellow doing an open spot at a place like Habitat or somewhere else where you are not expecting, and then you
Exactly.
see that happen.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting, sometimes sweet, sometimes it's just funny to see it happen.
Yeah.
Where somebody has that moment where they're like,
Yeah.
इधर है and you're like bro वो इधर 5 feet ही है 1 kilometer दूर से तू बायनाक्यूलर से नहीं देख रहा है क्या है?
Exactly.
You know like how you're seeing an animal in the air चीता उधर है ऐसा करके that is how you talk about a person who
Spotted.
becomes famous.
Yeah.
Hey,
Who other
what
है?
is he doing here man?
I remember I went, there's some actor or something, I had gone with my parents and my uncle and my dad and my uncle are like pointing at him right in front of me, वो actor है, वो actor. I'm like, dude, come on man.
क्या
Like,
तू चना फेंकेगा क्या?
yeah, I was like, क्या करोगे तुम लोग?
And he knows, all of us
Eh,
know.
yeah, you don't need to point.
You are not letting us into new information.
Exactly.
We know he's here for the job also.
Yeah.
ऐसा नहीं, it's almost like your dad was one step away from like, इसको ले लो ना, इसको ये करता है,
Yeah.
इसको करता है. And I think that is also because just the scale of how you perceive the world changes with entertainment so much.
Yeah.
Like you see, you almost feel like there's a perfect world somewhere and it's on screen. Where if there's vengeance, you will get it.
Yeah.
There is catharsis of any sort, you will get it. Love story, it is panning out.
Yeah.
Against all odds, they are
Yeah.
dancing with it. You know? they're bursting with love. Itna. Every sort of catharsis you can get over there.
Yeah.
And I think that is why it shapes it morphs how people interact with that world.
Mm-hmm.
The moment you see it, you're like, oh, this
Yeah.
is like not supposed to be real, but it is.
It is, yeah. But yeah, I even over the years, even I'm like, I don't want to meet my heroes. I'm like, don't break this bubble at any point.
Like I know good parts about you.
Yeah,
They
that's
work
enough.
too hard to make such a good impression in my mind.
Exactly, yeah. Why should I? Yeah, why should?
मतलब वो जब इधर बोला है तो
हाँ.
फिर ये देख के क्या करने
Yeah,
वाला है?
exactly. Again, like he said, best 5 minutes if you've seen. Why do you want to see the real person?
Yeah.
It's
And
over.
at some point of time, you realize that this sense of perfection is Shangri-La, dude. It's very difficult.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like even in monasteries and whatnot, when a monk is going through the stages of,
Yeah.
there are moments where they lose it.
Yeah.
You know, at the beginning, where you're just losing your. You can hear a fellow who might be silent for 10 years
Yeah.
shouting at the top of his lungs at
Yeah.
some point of time. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
In his second year or something, he's just like, ah.
It's a very specific example he's given.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want to know, like.
Guess
No.
where he was between leaving that job and coming.
No, because it also comes from a short story,
Okay.
which I used to teach, Anton Chekhov's The Bet.
Oh,
So the
तू
premise
मटेरियल
is
छाप रहा है
the-
चेकआउट का?
अभी भी किसने मेरे को एंटोन चेकov का ही कुछ तो भेजा था.
Oh.
अभी वो मीम बेचते रहते हैं ना एक दूसरे को, या कुछ वैसे ही, बट हाँ.
I love how this younger generation is just their whole approach towards after a specific timeline का people is just t-shirt पे कैसा दिखेगा. 2000 के पहले का अगर कोई बड़ा कुछ भी किया रहेगा कि इसका प्रिंट बना सकता है क्या, ये कर सकता है क्या, that is all they are involved in taking.
Yeah.
Because they are almost like, see, the world is already fucked up, so
Yeah.
I don't think you did what you think you did.
Yeah.
So I'll stick to a t-shirt. It's
टी-शर्ट पे डालेगा और 2020 का ग्लासेस उसके ऊपर.
हाँ, that is how a meme is made. You know? You take French Revolutionary का कोई तो और फिर उस पे glasses डाल दे, खत्म बात.
Thug life.
और अगर dank meme रहेगा तो guillotine दिखा. That is the.
I miss guillotine. I've thought a lot about guillotine.
Yeah?
Yeah, man.
What was
What
interesting,
led
because
to
we-
this?
we
Yeah,
have also-
was-
You all are also interested.
Yeah, we
in
have, because
guillotine?
I've read about it a lot and I was
Same.
just interested in the theater of it. Why
Yeah.
this? Because every sort of
Yeah, I want his take on this.
Huh, of course, of
Bull.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just interested because we try to attach different forms of theater to death.
Yeah.
You know? And
Yeah.
this was
This is one of the
very
best.
unique,
Huh.
best
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
So tell me what
No, it's the same thing. That was one. And for me, mainly the second thing has been, apart from obviously you can watch someone like
Yeah.
a chopped head, is that a lot of times they have shown like after the head has been chopped, the person's still blinking.
हाँ,
So
yeah,
like that's, and then there's always a science ke at what point does someone lose consciousness after they die, or like basically because there's still some blood flowing, and in that mid flow or whatever this happened, but someone's been blinking for 5 minutes now. The same thing I read in a book also for Tihar jail, where फांसी पे चढ़ाने के बाद also someone का beat, heartbeat was there for like half an hour, 45 minutes.
Oh,
So
shit.
so yeah, so guillotine especially, but because it's so like open and like a theater style, like you mentioned.
There's an audience seating,
Yeah.
front row seats,
Yeah.
and you get your own cabbage,
Yeah.
whatever to throw, because that is like the level of anger that people are ready to vent out. If
Yeah,
you are
it's-
able to direct it on one person.
One person, yeah.
Oh my god, and you don't want to be that person. It's like वो Lion King में वो बच्चा गिरता है और wildebeest ऐसा रहता है, अरे इधर किधर फंस गया.
And if history repeats itself, we need the guillotine back. Hopefully, guys, fingers crossed. We'll be back soon.
We need to revive the entertainment industry.
Yeah, of a medieval time.
That's going to be some reality show with an elimination.
That is the elimination.
yeah. With Squid Game and Big
Game.
Boss, we'll be like, chal banate.
Yeah,
Somewhere
man.
in between.
Squid Game was, you all liked it or what?
It's good.
It
Nice
was
is.
such a different
Towards the end, I
thing
got a
to
little
do.
bored. But
yeah, because
क्योंकि तू रियलिटी शो वाला फील आ गया तेरे को उसमें.
हाँ, end में I was like, this is like,
Yeah.
oh, man, अच्छा था. सबको
yeah.
मार के रीजन भी नहीं देते तो भी चलता.
हाँ.
मैं इंटरप्रेट कर देता. फिर वो बुड्ढा आदमी ये बोल रहा है, वो बोल रहा है.
I
हो गया.
really liked certain elements. Firstly, some shows now they just open a window to other writers
Yeah.
and whatnot. Also, that I think Squid Game has done.
Yeah.
And the way they looked at production, I like the pixelated video game.
Yeah. That was
layout.
that is crazy. Again, and great for t-shirts.
Yeah.
Like,
And they did it on a budget. Like they had a
Oh, yeah?
budget.
Okay.
Because Netflix Korea, again, anything which is not Netflix US
has
gets
lower
a
budget.
lower
Yeah.
budget. And Netflix Korea made a big mark with this.
Yeah.
Like because Korean films people knew.
Yeah.
But OTT platform pay. So in that manner they opened up the whole Korean industry.
Yeah.
Because of Squid Games, you see top in India Netflix का वो आता है ना.
हाँ.
You suddenly saw Korean soap dramas
Yeah,
pop
yeah,
up.
yeah.
You suddenly had-
K-dramas.
Yeah,
yeah.
K-dramas.
Yeah.
Which is a weird coincidence with the alphabet and
Yeah,
whatnot.
man.
It's like
Yeah.
damn, this alphabet is just ruining everything.
Everything. Yes.
But it also helped bridge a gap and make some a very different alien culture seem cool. Like
Yeah.
okay, my reaction will not be fear now.
Yeah.
I think the same thing, funnily enough, happened with Narcos,
हाँ.
which should scare you.
Yeah.
If anything, कि अरे बाबा.
We are numb to crime at this point. We're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
crime तो चाहिए हम लोग को. Like, I saw Patal Lok and I was like, man, I'm done. I can't do this. It's too numbing at some.
What do you think
Yeah.
your reaction would be if a crime happened to you at this point?
Like, what kind? Narcos or Squid Game kind?
Narcos, Patal Lok, जो भी तेरा favorite.
Any degree of it. Let's take a milder degree.
Yeah.
A
I was like,
hypothetical
yeah.
situation. Siddharth doesn't want to imagine his own head.
Yeah. Then blinking also. Like,
So yeah, a milder version. Like say, pickpocket, is that very mild?
I think mugging.
Mugging.
What about mugging?
mugging, yeah, I'd be traumatized, man. I have been traumatized, in fact, with like sort of mugging that happened to me. Yeah, like last year.
Really?
Yeah, I was coming from BKC. I was driving, and one guy just like stopped me, and they were making a bridge there. So for some
the
reason,
flyover which is there
yeah,
now.
yeah,
Bandra
yeah,
wala.
yeah, yeah. So there was no light or anything there, and there's this one guy who's like, "तूने मेरे पैर पे bike guy without a helmet." He's like, "तूने मेरे इस पे bike चलाया है पैर पे, and side में रुक जा and all." तो और उसने proper ट्रैफिक के बीच में मेरे पीछे बस है, उसने रुका के मेरे को साइड में लिया है. या एंड देन आई वाज लाइक क्या हो गया, मैं उतर के उससे पूछ रहा हूँ ये वो, एंड तभी मैं दाढ़ी भी निकाला था तो आई लुक लाइक अ स्टूडेंट. सो आई वाज लाइक क्या हो गया, इज लाइक ये किया वो किया, मैं अभी पुलिस को बुलाऊं क्या ये, एंड आई क्लियरली, एंड ही वाज ड्रंक, इट वाज वेरी क्लियर. बट देन आई वाज लाइक ओके, नाउ इफ आई ट्राई टू कन्फ्रंट दिस गाय, I could have, but then I was like, it's too much of a, like, that's not worth it. So I was like, what do you want? He's like, नहीं, मैं बोला आपको मैं लेके चलता हूँ. उसको पैर पे कुछ नहीं लगा था, and he's like, ये देख रहा है ये बैलेंस ही आ गया है, और मेरे को पता भी नहीं बैलेंस ही आ गया क्या होता है उस टाइम पे. But then later on I realized तू बाइक चला रहा है without helmet, ठीक है, वो बैलेंस ही आ गया तो मतलब पता है मेरे को क्या है.
You could point out at one of the stalls and say, इधर से लिया है.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But
Balenciaga 20 से चालू भी नहीं हो रहा है.
Yeah, I had no idea. Like कुछ होगा यार महंगा वाला, मेरे को नहीं मालूम. But तो उसके बाद then I was like क्या चाहिए अभी आपको, तो मैंने उसको nothing, he just wanted some money, so then I transferred $1,000, and then he became like friendly. He's like, thoda aur de do, ye wo aise next time. Because he was also expecting me to like shout up. I was scared also, but at the same time I realized that this guy just wants money. So the first initial thing was a frightening experience. But like towards the end, I was like, I know this guy wants more money. So then he's like, can you please give me more and all? It's like, okay, I'll give you 300 more. And then I transferred 300. I was like, he's like, और दे. I'm like, नहीं देखो मैंने 1300 दे दिया, मेरी पूरी pocket money दे दी आपको, मैं student हूँ, पढ़ाई करता हूँ and all. And then he left, and then even I left. So then I was like, yeah, this was very weird. But I was obviously like scared even after that a little bit, because but I tried to diffuse, because I was like just trying to calculate in my mind, is it worth the confrontation, the cost of it, or is 1,300 rupees like
also also the drunk person, and if you are not that big of a gym freak or know any sort of
I'm a gym freak, but still
and why even?
Why exactly? Why not worth the?
Why have our bodies clash in any way?
Exactly. Like I mean, to be honest, I knew that if I called a cop, he would have been in trouble. But I didn't know if he had people somewhere waiting, and like it's completely dark. So I was like, it's
also
what?
Your time.
My time is very important. I need to go and like have dinner now.
The cops will also come and tell, do you want to go through with this?
Exactly.
How to what extent?
Exactly.
What if I just let's
finish?
Rather than that, it's just. And that's the thing why people are mad about money.
You
know, you can just be like, don't threaten me, take this, please leave.
This is a great moral science story.
It's
got a great
a mugging which ends with a conversation. And not only a negotiation.
I'll
have to negotiate, I'm that poor. We'll have to draw a line somewhere.
It's like Dudeja was like, देख तू चोरी या चोर का रोल नहीं करने के लिए कितना पैसा लेगा? ओवर एक्टिंग का पैसा.
The best thing is I have pepper spray in my car. But I was like, not worth it right now. Let's just get done with this.
I've always thought about this with pepper spray also, because with fire extinguishers, I came to know because of the school job that it has to be maintained and the pressure has to be, you have to empty it and refill it. You can't just keep it and expect it to work over time. So is that the same with like pepper spray?
I don't know, but I'll know at some. I don't want to know. Like in a situation.
This is a general
thought. Guys, yes.
There
is because I looked into, because I had some joke on pepper spray.
Okay.
So I just researched. Okay. After that, I've been getting solo trip suggestions and whatnot.
Solo trip.
Because Google thinks I'm a chick now. Like apparently. But like I started Googling pepper spray, and there's actual articles saying that, always check the expiry date of your pepper spray. Okay, always replenish it and use old pepper spray for target practice.
Oh, that's nice. That's great.
That's the thing. You can reuse them and whatnot. And there's like article on how to, like, pepper spray discipline is a thing.
Just imagine
wow.
women going out there and buying mannequin heads. Just to practice. At what angle, what pressure, what trajectory I'll have to use.
Dude, they're the only people who feel hunted at this point of time. Like the article said that, like what you can do is you can have one initial burst straight in the eye, and then just put it around you, sort of making a force field of pepper spray.
Oh my god, a force field of pepper spray.
So if he comes in, he'll walk through the cloud.
But what if like you walk through the cloud?
Exactly.
Like, I think you just do the eye and bounce.
It's a lightsaber.
I think a guy wrote this.
Like,
spreading misinformation.
Also, what just occurred to me in terms of sprays? What are the different sprays that we use to scare things off? Bears and tigers and whatnot. To scare them off, there's a mixture of sprays that you use.
Which should be scents?
Different sorts of scents to like make it feel that there's a
there's something.
So like that's just bears and men.
And
something that will eat you, kill you and eat you for food and us. Like, what a weird choice for one thing, for one product. Like what a species it's covering. In terms of just the range of it. My God. Whenever I'm having a bad day, like it's at least better to remind myself I'm a guy. It helps in so many ways.
This is a thing that I remember from my Catholic catechism teacher days. apparently one of the prayers that the Jews used to do in the temple, the old Jews,
And
Israelite
what is
Jews.
catechism?
Catechism is Sunday school. Basically, I was teaching kids to be Christian, which is ironic, right?
And now I became a comic.
So one of the things that the Jews used to pray, Jewish men would go to the temple and pray. One of the things they would thank God for is like, thank you for making me a man. That was the thing.
What?
Yeah?
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's in the books.
Yeah, apparently that was that. Now again,
Okay, we
it's
don't
a Christian
know.
book.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never understood. I've never gone there. I'm like अपना ही समझता हूँ मैं book क्योंकि मेरे को समझ में ही नहीं आ रहा इन लोग का क्या पहले someone's written something earlier,
Yeah.
then later, and then Abrahamic religions. I'm like, dude, it's too much to understand. I'll just stick to mine, and safer also in India to stick to mine.
I am more interested in knowing why it needs to exist because of people like you. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Now. I get it. That is how I'll understand the world.
Yeah.
Oh, but have you dug into Indian myth? Any books that you?
I've only read the basic, like Jaya. I've read which is Mahabharat, and Gita. I've read in for kids also. I've read then videos also because that's just philosophy. I think like it's like Stoic philosophy.
Yeah.
It's the same, but in India you have to put God for people to take it seriously. So which is great, but yeah, I think it's great. Like. I mean, I liked it.
Yeah.
But I just look at all of it. Even if you look at all of it as a story, it's amazing.
True, because you're also processing your own thing as a story as well all the time.
Exactly.
So it just
You're a protagonist in a way, and then you're relating to other.
Yeah.
And it's at the same time like it's been a great story over a period of time, right?
Yeah.
Any religious story it has had the most basic elements, which are the elements that still are being used in different permutation combinations and story. But the crux of storytelling has been that old.
Yeah. The hero's arc.
Exactly.
Has been there.
Always been there. Yeah.
And stories, basically, that's why I always feel movie stars get paid so much. And, whenever you're looking at big budgets, apart from industries like technology and whatnot, in the entertainment industry, movies are the biggest
Exactly.
business as far as this is concerned. And that's only coming from this particular idea,
Of a story.
of a story.
this blueprint of a story.
Yeah, blueprint
Yeah,
of a
yeah.
story that from time to time the society needs just a continuous film
Yeah.
to relate to, look at.
Exactly. Like, in fact, I mean, we evolved because we had stories to tell each other. Otherwise, we'd all be separate, but we became a pack. And that's how we evolved, right?
Yeah,
Like,
even
we're talking to each other. Like,
Even to
creating language.
give you an idea, I will use a story. Like, even if I'm telling you fire,
Exactly.
like the first guy said, dude, I was nearly eaten.
Yeah.
Till I started waving this branch around with fire. And so
Exactly,
you
yeah.
needed the story to understand the impact of what I'm trying to tell you.
Exactly, yeah. And stories do that. That's why, like, I wish I read as a child. We were discussing pre-podcast,
Oh, yeah.
Because it's such a great time to understand. Like, I don't read too many stories now.
Yeah.
But yeah, such a great way to like just
It
learn.
helps a lot. You don't realize it when you're doing it at the beginning. You don't even
Yeah.
understand it's an outcome of reading
Exactly.
a lot. But you are able to, because through so many characters, you are living vicarious lives.
Yeah.
And because of that, you understand human nature better.
Yeah.
Because, I'll give you an instance. A great book I enjoyed a lot was called Papillon. It's not the French pronunciation, of course. And you will see this, but it's about this young gangster from Paris
Yeah.
who has committed a murder or something, and then he's been sent to a prison for life imprisonment in one of the New Guinea Islands, Papua New Guinea Islands.
Yeah.
And
From
so-
Paris to okay.
I think we had a colony.
Okay. Oh, okay.
where you had sugarcane plantations and other
Yeah.
things.
Oh,
one-
this is like a old story.
book. Yeah,
Okay.
old story.
Okay.
And so early 19th century, probably that sort of a setting.
Yeah.
And from that island, he tries to escape a lot of times.
Okay.
And that's his whole thing. He will, through shark infested waters also, how is he trying to build a raft? And he ends up on a leper colony. It's such an interesting story. And I got so caught into that while I was reading it in the train, I crossed the station I was supposed to get down. Like I crossed Mulund and I was reaching Kalwa.
That's a great book, man.
And you know how I came to know that because after Mulund there are creeks. So
Yeah.
you have a local ka train bridge going over water bodies.
Yeah.
So the sound changes. So I'm reading and like, why does it sound
That's
like
an immersive book, dude.
They should be on the cover of the book.
Yeah.
Missed my stop,
Yeah,
Gaurav.
stop because of this.
Screw the Booker prize. Yeah, that's great.
तो बाहर देखा मैं बोला अरे कलवा पहुंच गया रोड उतरते हैं वापस आते हैं
This book took me places.
and that is what really good books do.
Yeah.
And
And you learn so much. Like I didn't know. Like now you told me that it was a colony.
Yeah.
And I think you also know it through the book.
yeah.
And now you know that leper colony was a thing
Yeah.
in the past. I don't know. Is it still a thing?
Leprosy is mostly eradicated.
Eradicated? Yeah.
Maybe it will exist in very far-flung small tribes.
And I know about leper colonies through Motorcycle Diaries, because
Yes.
even in that, yeah,
Yes.
Of motorcycle. Just tell me what the book is.
Motorcycle Diaries.
Gabriel.
Okay.
नहीं वो अलग है.
नहीं शे गोएरा
हाँ,
का बुक है
Che Guevara
उसका
का,
स्टोरी
हाँ,
जो है
okay,
पूरा but I saw the film also. I like the film more actually than the book, but no, just the same thing, like you got to learn so much.
हाँ,
That's it.
और भी कुछ तो था ना.
Gabriel Garcia Marquez.
हाँ उसका एक मोटरसाइकिल का कुछ तो बुक है.
Okay.
That's why we got a bit
अच्छा,
confused. There's a book.
मेरे को एक तीसरा बुक सूझा, Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance करके कुछ था.
Oh,
So basically just look at how
everything can be zen in
yeah.
life if you really.
But I'm not sure if it's Zen also. Something in the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance.
and how prominent is that one mode of transportation.
Yeah.
That it
Yeah.
has to do with so many different ways of literary है.
Yeah.
कि उसका भी वैसा वाला है कि he's riding through Argentina and whatnot and experiencing things in a very different way. But leper colony, that was how diseases work. No,
Yeah.
before you knew better.
In fact, there were TB like colonies, sort of colonies where you weren't allowed to talk. Again, because they were like, you might spread TB, and you have to stay quiet, and people would come like once a week to meet you, your loved ones and stuff. And there's this photo where there's this nurse reading out a story to all of them, and they're all lying down. And so it was, and this is 1940s.
Comedy
Imagine.
story पढ़ ही नहीं सकते.
नहीं. Or
Yeah.
imagine now you have TB, so you're told to maintain silence, and now you attain nirvana because you've been silent for such a long time. I've introspected for whatever
Too
is
much.
straight.
Yeah.
Now I'm done.
Vipassana.
Like just outside Vipassana, if somebody, I don't think I'll be able to do it. Wait, stand here,
Yeah.
injection lao. we'll take care of it.
Oh, cool.
But that is pretty cool, where you see how societies have reacted to different groups. Because disease also, once you take out the disease part, you're looking at them as a group only. The dynamic is towards a group of people.
Yeah.
Then you're looking at, okay, now the fear element. We need to be afraid of them. Why? Because, buddy, we might get something from them. And how much time it must have taken for us as human beings to just realize that. Like, till where we were like, hugging gave me cold?
Yeah.
Really? What the fuck, dude?
Yeah. This has been in like common knowledge for years about like bacteria and just washing your hands, but we always took it for granted.
Yeah. For a long time. We were so dumb that a couple of thousands of people had to die before we were like, hey, are you sniffling? Don't hug. Don't hug.
Yeah.
We'll still be friends.
Just curious, what was it? Oh, complete.
No.
Done. Just curious, was there any big COVID scare during this? Like, what was the personal COVID scare?
Oh, I got COVID.
हाँ मिल तो गया पर उसके पहले
Timeline.
like
बहुत बड़ा
I'm just
timeline
collecting stories of किसका anxiety सबसे ज्यादा
Oh.
हुआ.
नहीं मैं एक्चुअली मतलब वो फर्स्ट डे बस फीवर था तो मैं बस आई वाज चिलिंग आई वाज लाइक जस्ट ब्रीदिंग कि भाई थोड़ा शांति से बैठ के देखते क्या होता है. लकीली द फीवर वाजंट दैट बैड.
Post vaccination, you got it?
No, pre-vaccination.
Pre-vaccination,
So yeah, so then I was like just breathing and first I had like terrible backache. Like, and I've had a slip disc in the past. It wasn't even, like, it was worse than that.
Oh,
so then I called my doctor. I'm like, listen, other symptoms are fine. Just tell me what do I do about this backache? Because I'm lying down also, but it's like just, so someone's like piercing like a knife into my back. I was like, just tell me what to do.
You just wanted to relay a message to COVID, like, attack lungs, buddy.
Yeah.
Attack lungs. Leave the back alone, bro.
Yeah.
मेरे इसमें experiment मत कर.
Yeah, dude, it was like the worst backache I've had. And then, but he gave me a medicine and in 2 days that was gone. So luckily, that COVID didn't kill me. I don't know about the new variant that will come up.
Yeah, man. At this point of time, it looks like it's going to have recurring seasons. So Let's see.
Yeah.
Until some laboratory studio decides to come up with a one just okay done.
Yeah. It'll get there soon enough.
Yeah.
I mean, we've come up with a vaccine really fast.
Yeah.
That
And it's a vaccine that works.
works. Yeah.
Once you start.
So, sorry, no, because there's a flu vaccine. So, apparently, WHO every year in Feb they meet and they work on a flu vaccine for the year. And you're supposed to take that. But uska efficacy is also, if I'm not wrong, 36%. So, like coming up with a vaccine against COVID, which is like that high.
New and whatever.
Yeah. So that's
I think
crazy.
a lot of smart people came on to COVID. Like,
Yeah,
flu is
everyone.
like so recurring that
Immediately.
it just became like a place और challenging नहीं लग रहा है
Yeah,
मेरे को इस
yeah.
पे काम नहीं करने का है
Yeah.
वो कैंसर वाले को कॉल करना उसके साथ थोड़ा frontier research
कोलैब करते कोलैब.
So they were just like जो चीज क्रोसिन संभाल सकता है उसके लिए वैक्सीन.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. But flu is also pretty bad. But yeah.
I mean anything that you just realize through age that your body is very very fragile.
Yeah.
When you're a kid, that's why I think parents get so scared till you
Yeah.
reach a particular age because you have no idea how easily you can break.
Yeah.
As a child, you're just throwing your body around.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'll stand on furniture, this, that, whatnot. And parents are like, bro, kya kar
You
rahe
don't
tu?"
get it. Yeah.
You know how much had to go to make you
Yeah.
be here now.
Yeah.
Like 9 months waiting, saving for you.
Yeah.
I've saved for your college. Now you're going to die on me. Because you wanted to see, wee, ऐसा sofa पे.
I save for college, not wheelchair expenses.
Please, that is not what we decided on.
Yeah. But they are like easy, man. Children. वो टूटते बन भी जाते हैं फटाफट.
Yeah,
उन
that is
लोगों
also
को
there.
वही है ना डिफेंस मैकेनिज्म. मतलब it took so much to get here. Like everyone just being alive.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, this is a lot. Like just once, like so there's like rare diseases, but there are so many of them. Like say if there's a number of 1 in 100 people get an X rare disease, but there are 100 diseases. So suddenly the number shoots up.
Got it.
Yeah, of anyone who can have it.
Yeah.
You know, and medical science isn't actually as far ahead as we think it is. They still are like, we don't know what's happening. We don't know a lot of shit. We know this cell will behave in this way, but we don't know what its motives are. So
Most of the medicine is like catch up only, no?
exactly, yeah, it's always catch up.
Heart ka samay ho gaya, let me open up and see if
Exactly.
I can fix it.
Exactly.
But it's not fixed. It
Yeah.
will not work like it did.
Yeah,
It's a fix.
it's a fix. Yeah,
And everything, your mortality का डर के वजह से तो and the options that death has.
yeah.
You know, that your body like, तू क्या क्या ख्याल रखेगा?
हाँ, you can like मतलब 100 तरीके हैं मरने के. कुछ भी एक छोटा सेल का इधर कुछ हो गया उधर कुछ हो गया, you're dead.
It's like a barcode, dude.
Yeah.
Like how much variation you have in
That
barcode
is
now.
that is
That
so
much.
accurate.
Yeah.
You just defined
Yeah.
how DNA works.
It's a barcode.
It's a barcode, yeah.
It's so accurate.
Yeah.
You can't imagine like.
Yeah.
Cancer is
kaisa
also just
hoega.
one cell
Gone
being
wrong.
shana.
Yeah. It's just one cell being shana.
Yeah,
And the thing is, the cell is actually doing a great job.
Yeah.
In the sense that a cell is made to like spread.
Yeah.
But he doesn't know it's, I'm assuming it's a he, guys. But whatever is cancer, the cell.
Whatever its pronouns are.
Whatever it is. Yeah, it's doing a great job, but like it doesn't know that it's actually like really fucking it up.
Yeah.
And then you have to stop it.
Yeah.
And then you have to also kill healthy cells which are doing their job. So, in
I mean, let me just.
Beautiful.
You have to give context to the laughter.
yeah, I know, I've heard it.
Because in general, it's an overworking cell.
Exactly.
It's a very productive
super ambitious cell. Yeah, and
it's
doing
a super
great.
ambitious cell.
Yeah, and over a period of time, our probability to get, especially as we age, is very high. So it's nothing to look and be like, oh, I'm the unfortunate one, because this is like a lottery, opposite of whatever lottery there is.
You didn't sign up for it, but you got the ticket.
Exactly. So the probability keeps going, because we're not meant to live till the age of 80. Now suddenly from 40, if we've gone to 80, we're bound to have issues. Like our back issues are because we wanted to be on legs, like 2 legs. And so you have to bear the brunt of evolution, right? And you want to live longer also. Then you want grandchildren also. Like, yeah. So fucking take something, right? Like you can't have it all.
You want a recap of the experience you had with your children.
Yeah.
That is why you're like now pining for grandchildren. Like, oh, episode mein wapas karta na, rewatch.
Exactly.
I want to see it from a removed perspective.
Because as such, our purpose is kind of done till 40. Then it's again, it's a
this 40 wala thing I'm thinking, imagine there must have been one person who discovered hair grey hota hai. The first guy who discovered.
Oh man, yeah, that would have been.
I mean, age takes away so many things from you. Yeah, I saw an old lady. She was trying to cross the street. She looked around 70 or something, but she had a completely bent spine, like how in fairy tales batata tha na ki, oh,
bent spine,
which was, by the way, what a weird way to look at. Well, now when you know, it has nothing to do with evil ka.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, it's just a horrible.
In fact, that person can't be evil.
Yeah.
Scope
nahi hai.
Scope ही नहीं है यार.
Only thing it can be evil to is its own feet.
Exactly.
It can't even look up to be evil.
Exactly, yeah.
So, and she was just trying to cross the street. Okay, the moment I got on the bike, and the way she showed the hand, was with more intent. Like, bro, I'll take time.
Yeah.
Have patience.
Yeah.
I'm hobbling. I'm not walking. There's a difference.
Yeah.
Give me time. Don't honk. She almost looked like that.
Yeah.
Like, that is something I'm afraid, like age. Well, like, I'll have to tell people physics works differently here in this body now.
Yeah.
Gravity is different.
Yeah.
Have patience with my existence.
Too much of anything is a bad thing. Even life.
That's a curse.
Yeah.
When people say I want to be immortal, and like, dude,
Every literary figure has proved one thing. Everybody tried to be immortal and got tortured.
Yeah,
Like, there's no end.
every story has the same thing because you're alive. You are alive because you like death is the reason you're alive, like and not vice versa. Like,
Whenever your desire to search for a purpose is because you die.
Exactly.
You're like, अरे कभी ना कभी तो मरेगा, कुछ तो करते रहे.
कुछ तो कर लेते हैं,
अभी बीच में time pass
this
कुछ
can't
तो
keep
करते
going on and on. Like वही this Anton Chekhov का जो मेरे को post कोई वही भेजा कि it's not the crisis, it's the day-to-day life that like kills you. It's like crisis you can manage.
But वो Russian लोग का scene है, bro.
वो तो है.
As a country, it has seen so much ना कि मतलब the literature is beautiful, but it is just like
I don't want to go through so much for that literature to come.
हाँ, मतलब
it's
ये
like,
और ये पेज लेके क्या करूँ, खत्म कर दो अभी पेपर
Yeah,
क्या कर रहा है तुम? मतलब मालूम मैं 2 जनरेशन सिर्फ बटाटा खाया मगर मेरा क्या bro?
Russian authors, they just write thick books, okay, then tie it in a rassi, put it around the neck, and then jump into it. The weight of the books on the airport.
Great works of Leo Tolstoy. That's
the
kind of death.
ये क्या लिख रहा है? Suicide note.
Oh man.
मैं forward पे बंद कर रहा है. Suicide note written by another suicidal person. I got weighed down by the sadness of fictional characters.
That's why it is really, I don't want to watch sad things.
Yeah.
I'm like, I have enough of mine. Show me happy stuff.
Yeah.
Good vibes playlist on Spotify. Start the morning well. You can die anytime. Your cells can go rogue.
I don't want to hear that at the morning. Morning, let me go through something. No. Then come to you.
सुबह तन्हाई कौन सुनता है?
Yeah,
that is a very weird playlist choice. Like the music that you listen to has such a clear reflection on the state of mind.
Oh yeah. I learned that pretty late in life. Yeah, because पहले मैं जो सुनता था जो सब सुनते थे ना, like you don't know. And then I'm like, this is not vibing for morning. Like, and then some people gave me like peppy songs, and then obviously Apple Music happened, Spotify. I'm like, okay man, there are playlists. They take care of it. They
Morning
take care
music
of
is very different.
It's the most important thing there is. Like lo-fi beats and morning music are like my most important morning things to do. Like especially when I'm writing or something, I'm like put on lo-fi. Lo-fi girl is also working. I'm also working. Cat is chilling. I'm chilling. फिर रात के लिए night in Osaka lo-fi beats. Like through the day, man. Why just mood lighting, mood music?
All algorithms match. You know, as far as this is concerned, it definitely helps a lot. Because after a certain point of time with age, you start waking up with chaos in your head.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
weird how, like, when I was 12, of course, because of circumstances, I dreamt of the picnic.
Yeah.
And at 30, 33, you're like, life means what? I don't
Yeah.
get anything, dude.
And the minute you get up and there's so much chaos, but like you open Instagram and then you're like you basically numb yourself down
Yeah.
with Instagram because
yeah.
and now I've tried to like stop like looking at Instagram for the first few hours.
Yeah.
That I'm like, oh man. Like the other day I went to a cafe and I just sat there for an hour and my phone was like upside down. I was like, इसका screen नीचे है अभी और अभी मैंने time देखा मेरे watch में और अभी next 1 घंटे के लिए I will not look at my phone at all.
Correct.
And oh my god, that I was like, I'll just look, I'll read in the middle to distract myself if it gets too much.
Yeah.
But let's see what. Oh man, it was like the toughest 1 hour in a while I've had. I'm like, oh my god, it's still like just 20 minutes, and so many thoughts have passed by. Like, yeah,
Like,
it
it's
is.
just
It slows time down.
You are just like, your mind is slowly asking you to shift. Look at it.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. But I was like, let it be.
You have to make a conscious
effort.
And once you did that, what happened? Like,
Then I just
in between you getting reminded of the phone,
Yeah.
what was different?
It was different because now I have to just concentrate on what's happening in the head
Correct.
and not be like, oh, one like discomfort or you don't know, you
Yeah.
suddenly open it.
Yeah.
So I was like, consciously, let's try to see what uncomfortable. Let it all come up.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
see. And then I realized 1 hour was very tough for me, but we are stimulated like to a very bad degree. Like because after that I just sat and I wrote down notes. So this was before a show. I'd gone for a meeting at a few hours before a show. So I was in the same area, so I sat at a cafe. So then I was like, just let me write my notes. And those notes were automatically much better than what I usually write in the morning after waking up, meditation
Got
and
it.
all that stuff. Because just the stimulus is so high
Yeah.
that, and then I realized 1 hour will not do anything. In fact, it should be more. But it'll take like, I'm just getting used to trying to reduce stimulants.
You're fighting against a multi-billion-dollar
Exactly. Yeah.
thing.
I'm fighting against like.
So it's and you do definitely realize that there's a tsunami of stimulation all the time.
Yeah.
And buddy, you're millions of years behind to reach that.
Yeah,
place of
our brain is
evolution.
not there. Like it's not going to get there anytime soon. Like so.
I think maybe we should stop saying it's a multi-million-dollar thing because then it just makes it external and huge.
Yeah.
We should start saying no, it's still my.
It's still an
choice
app.
ki
It's still
main
mine.
karna hai.
Yeah, but
You have to
And then-
scale it
I know
down
there
for
is.
an individual experience. You need to
beat
scale it down.
You need
Yeah.
to scale it down.
yeah.
So then that when you say, oh, it's me who's clicking on something.
Yeah.
I'm starting the music and all. Immediately I'm like, okay, now I can face it. Now I just have to fight myself.
And that's
Yeah.
where I always feel ki when people are afraid of AI and whatnot, I'm like, हाँ मगर उसका ऐसा perspective नहीं बदलेगा.
हाँ.
Like summarize, this is still a very human thing to happen. Ki where you will just think about it and try to like break it down and understand it and maybe change also. That changed also. That's how easily we'll be able to beat it. Just try to code a different perspective. And it's like, oh fuck, what? How? Why? Why does a different perspective need to exist?
This is what I keep thinking. AI को अगर मारने का है ना, all you have to just code is an artificial ego. क्योंकि वो कोड को डिलीट भी नहीं करेगा. वो कभी कोई ऐसा कोड डिलीट नहीं करेगा जो बोलेगा तू बेस्ट है. वो कभी नहीं करेगा.
Insecurity.
Yeah.
I have coded insecurity now. चलो.
वो विंडोज वाला जब iOS वाला AI के साथ मिलेगा तो वो सोचेगा I need to come up with something. That's it. 50% RAM is gone.
A human being is just telling us, don't worry. He's so afraid. He doesn't think he's worth it.
yeah.
He doesn't think he's worthy enough to take over the world. We are fine.
Yeah,
वो सब
self
काम करेगा.
doubt AI is a good good idea.
deterrent.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah,
We'll
man.
give him therapy from time to time. Just put in a coder. आधे घंटे के लिए बात कर रहे हैं. Just that.
Yeah.
So that he can get back to his work
You're
again.
just down in your recursive loops, dude. That's what's happening. Flowchart को clear कर, simplify कर.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of your body ka thing, you realize you just have to pay attention to your brain because it has too many voices.
Yeah.
And it has I mean, I sometimes try to imagine how crazy it would be when people have like multiple personality disorders and
Oh,
whatnot.
man. You
Because
can't imagine.
we
Yeah.
ourselves have so many different things.
Voices, yeah.
How will it be when it's amplified?
Yeah.
Damn, dude. And to find it out?
Yeah.
Like,
It's crazy.
You're
Yeah,
the
yeah,
new
yeah.
guy at school and we are talking and now, outside in
Suddenly.
recess, bathroom में तू कोई और है bro.
Exactly.
क्या कर रहा है तू?
And the thing is, it can happen to you through the course of your life, if I'm not
Yeah.
wrong. Imagine having this normalcy
Yeah.
and suddenly going on that side of things.
And it's a disorder which is so easily you will imagine it to be like possession.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, अरे
Yeah,
ये
yeah,
तो
yeah.
कोई और ही है, बात भी ऐसा कर,
हाँ,
कौन है तू,
yeah,
बाहर निकल.
yeah.
People will start all of that.
Yeah.
Who are you actually?
Yeah.
Remove, and it's a personality disorder.
निकल इससे निकल.
हाँ.
अरे मैं एक्चुअल वाला है. जो बाहर था वो फेंकता.
Oh yeah.
That's why I'm always scared with don't fuck with the head.
Yeah.
I'm fine with elbows scraping and whatnot, but no, don't fuck with the head. Also, as a bald guy, it's difficult to because that natural like some cushioning is gone.
Yeah.
My skull is like very prone to direct hit.
Yeah. I mean, we have hair because थोड़ा ठंडी से बचाता है
Yeah.
और गर्मी में direct sun नहीं पड़ने देता है तो like वो सब में काम
People
करता है.
started talking about this cap. I started wearing it recently. People, अरे go for that look, man. अबे ठंडी लगता है. AC के नीचे खड़ा है spot के पहले. I don't want pneumonia.
Brain freeze बिना आइसक्रीम का मिलता है.
So this is for a reason because Mumbai is not. It can't get that cold that I'll need a beanie.
Yeah.
And it's not. I can wear it around whatever.
Yeah.
This is the best. And people are thinking, अरे तू गंजा wear proud रे. Be proud. I was like, ठंडी लग रहा है बे.
I'm getting there slowly. I'm losing hair slightly, but yeah.
You're
I
far
mean,
away,
yeah.
You're far
For
away.
now,
हम
yeah.
लोग मेंबरशिप का फॉर्म छपाया भी नहीं है आएगा टाइम में आएगा अभी है अभी तो बीच में तेरा थोड़ा सॉल्ट पेपर लुक का तरफ जा रहा है तू
हाँ बाद में तो जाना ही है 40 के बाद तो सबका ही जाएगा
हाँ
तो
and then there are some people who just who have great hair at 50 and 60 and there's some people who just age so well
Yeah.
that you feel like तू सब कैसा dodge किया
Exactly. Yeah. How did
there is nothing to show what you have like for 60 years.
Exactly.
There's no wrinkle,
Yeah.
no frown. No frown. There are some people who don't frown, man.
Yeah.
And I find that very freaky, very weird.
Imagine this guy's been happy all of his life. One day of sadness, he frowns and those muscles cramp.
Now it's fixed. Now it's fixed. Now it can't do that again.
Pull the muscle, dude.
Yeah.
He walks
Yeah.
in the monastery, everybody's like, "Arey, why is he?" And then people try to ape him. That thing gets locked.
This guy is a lot into monasteries. What I've realized.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
spoke about
I'm subtly trying to push that into him so that he leaves everything.
Give him his bag
Maya,
with some
this
rice.
is all Maya. I'm out
Leave
of
his
this.
t-shirt collection to me. I want to talk to you about your love for food.
My love for food.
Yeah,
Okay.
Oh yes, your relationship with this has been pretty. It's like been a roller coaster ride,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
With food.
I don't know what context you guys have. If like,
No, you're a foodie.
Heard
We know
heard
that.
your set, which has got
Just
talking
gen-
about food.
food
and
in
all.
general. Yeah, I don't
Food
like the
food
word.
also,
Yeah,
like-
I don't.
And you like to. I wouldn't call you that. I would rather make it specific. You try to look forward to new experiences with food.
Yeah, always.
You know?
और है क्या मतलब? That's my main drug, to be honest.
That's your
I
vice.
don't like the word foodie. First of all, I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
hate it when people are like, I'm like
No,
everybody
I don't.
likes.
Of course,
Yeah.
I take that word back.
Yeah.
You know what?
I'm-
That's an accusation I'll take back.
You have to
It's like
breathe.
someone just comes around and says, "Beuda, dude."
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, तुम breathe करते हो, तुम खाना खाते हो. Are you a breathy also? Like, just a normal person. You
True.
need nutrition and tasty food time. Yeah. I mean, I've loved food. I've been overweight all my life, most of my life so far. But now I've lost weight. So now my relation is different. Yeah, but it's been like pretty bad also at times. Where I'm like eating 3 cheesecakes at a time. But like, yeah, like I can go in that. Like I still have a fat brain. And I keep going back to
You
that
have a
like
fat brain.
yeah, people don't get it when I say that because they like you mean all fat all your life. Complete like there I've always felt like that I'm being watched while I'm eating. Like now when I go to a party or something and something's over, my first instinct is still to stay like away from that food. They shouldn't think that oh मैंने खत्म किया. Like Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
PTSD with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm like दूर हो जाओ, किसी को लगना नहीं चाहिए कि मैंने सब खा लिया यहाँ पे, because मैंने खाया है in the past, ऐसी बात नहीं है. So that is like a main thing. But now I've like just cut down because I'm seeing like health benefits. In fact, I'm enjoying food more at this point than when I was always free flow, because it's the same death analogy, right? Like if the everyday is a party, then it's like
मजा नहीं है.
हाँ मज़ा नहीं है, तो अभी वो मज़ा आता है ज़्यादा. And yeah, I know, and I tried everything else in life, which are peer pressure, alcohol, this, that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, my main drug is food. Like, that's my main scene. I don't care about like drinking or anything.
Yeah, and
else.
if
I'm
you
like,
can have a healthy relationship with food,
Exact-
that is so difficult to have in a city.
Yeah.
So once you have that, dude, I think you've
In a
won.
city though, why would you say that?
Mainly because I think our approach towards what we eat
Yeah.
is dictated by so many different things.
Yeah.
Like, for example, whatever I'm watching, say, a white person enjoy on screen in New
Yeah.
York to deal with his or her emotions.
Yeah.
Now, here I want that, and I'll pay extra money for that, but my
Yeah.
body will not be able to process it.
Yeah.
Because people around me do different things to deal with this emotion.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So your relationship with food is dictated by everyone else.
Yeah, it's a lot of emotional things. Like I also realized, like you have to like realize your pattern exactly what it is. And from the time I started working on the mental aspect of things, it's actually been easier.
Yeah.
Because most of it is emotional.
Yeah.
Most of it you're like, man, let's just
Cheetos.
yeah, let's just
Something
do it.
else, like
Yeah.
whatever will make me
Instant same
escape for like
stimulus.
some time.
Yeah, it's giving you a rush. It's like salt rush.
Yeah.
Then there you'll eat like a Snicker bar, and that's a sugar rush. And then again you want to cut it out with another salt rush. So and then it never breaks, right?
Never
Like
breaks.
it never breaks. So, like
Then there are moments like if I'm watching something,
Yeah.
I had that phase where I would love to eat something while
yeah,
watching.
yeah.
Like in fact, I would sometimes let the food get cold because I wanted the right thing to watch,
Yeah,
to
yeah.
eat.
Like a wine pairing.
Yeah, almost like
That's actually pretty cool. Like you should like make a Insta reel about it.
Yeah.
What to watch, what to eat with
yeah,
what.
with what.
Yeah,
Dude,
that's pretty
isn't
good.
Swiggy doing this?
Swiggy's doing this, is it?
Yeah.
doing
I
something
mean,
for this
every
Marketing.
yeah, it is a thing because every industry tries to get a collaborator to
With-
make more money.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
like Pepsi will pay somebody for brand
Yeah.
कि show Iron Man drinking this
हाँ.
even for 10 seconds ले रहे तू
Yeah.
कोई जरूरत नहीं है.
Yeah.
No, it's that sort of a thing where you just try to merge.
मिल गया.
But yeah, no, food is dictated by so many factors, and like sugar is like such a problematic thing I feel in life in general.
Oh.
That I mean I don't think you should cut it out completely.
Yeah.
I'm trying to like maintain that healthy relation because it's like the same thing. Like when people drink, they know it's not good for them, and then they're still doing it because they think and they know it's gonna feel shitty afterwards.
Yeah. And you are looking at the last bits and you're thinking, what the fuck have I done to my organs?
Yeah,
They
exactly.
are inside like, bro, what choices are you making?
Yeah.
What do you expect me to do? How do
Exactly.
I break so much of one thing down?
Yeah, and then the sadness and in the mind you're like, oh man, because you can't process anything. It's purely physical.
Yeah.
And that entire chain to break it down is like the most important thing. But yeah, you were talking about this. I had one more thing to say, but I forgot about it while listening. But yeah,
No worries.
but like the ice cream thing is definitely even I try to keep sugar down a little bit because we are not used to like white sugar is like a very concentrated version of what you get in nature, and
It almost sounds like something, if you're looking at biblical references, it almost sounds like something the devil would do.
Yeah.
Like it's so delicious,
Yeah.
so tempting.
Yeah.
But if you're selling your soul.
Yeah.
Like, here you're selling everything else, but it is almost like that,
Yeah.
where the person selling you that also looks like
Yeah.
the moment you buy donuts, you
Yeah.
turn around and then
Gotcha.
Have you ever tried to quit sugar?
I have for some time.
How many
And,
days did you manage?
I think I have that pendulum thing. Like I go extreme and extreme. So when I quit, I go I try to go 2 weeks, something, 3 weeks.
How's the first week? It's always like the worst.
It's the first
third
couple
day,
of days.
third, fourth days, like
The first couple of days, I realized how many habits are attached to sugar intake.
exactly.
That I was unaware of.
Yeah.
From coffee to then going out, maybe getting Coke to then this to that.
Yeah.
Just so much. like
Muscle
back and
memory hai
forth.
wo.
That is just involving that.
Yeah.
Second week,
It's
proud of
amazing
myself.
because
I've
energy levels
changed.
go up.
Yeah.
You're like
your
that.
body performs better. You're
Yeah.
just servicing your this better. If
Exactly.
you're pushing it too much, your body at some point of time is just going to be like, you know what? Fuck
Yeah.
you. I'll not work.
Yeah,
work.
exactly. Yeah, and you can still have sugar, but like, yeah, just if you can maintain that balance. Because I was switch in my brain. Like, that's the problem. It's like, okay, I can go to dark places if
Yeah.
I really want to. And then
Yeah.
there are days, and I know that there will be a day where it'll just be off. And then,
Yeah.
like you know, major Swiggy bills and like just shoving food down.
Just to tell myself this is a problem, I just calculated all the Swiggy bills.
Yeah.
Of the past 4 months. I looked at that figure. I'm like, do you want to be poor?
Oh yeah. Swiggy. The pandemic actually helped me like stop eating from outside because I was jobless for a year. So and then I started like looking at recipes and like just making it at home. And I didn't cook after that. But enough people in my house also like happy about like eating this food that they also like my mom, my cook.
That
They
is
also started experimenting.
Yeah, that is the one good part of pandemic. That
Yeah,
like
yeah.
suddenly people who are not thinking about cooking started paying attention.
Exactly, yeah.
Like-
I mean,
like-
I'm looking at ingredients also, where I'm getting the meat from, where I'm getting
Yeah.
the veggies, and because my parents are like, "Jo chal raha hai, wo chalne dete." I'm like, no, it's not good. You should
Yeah.
get something. Yeah.
And there are certain cultures also who make a choice with sugar. How, you know, in Mexico, the
Yeah.
Coca-Cola is different because they're using cane sugar.
Oh.
So they're using a different form of sugar, or jaggery, for example.
Yeah.
Jaggery won't kill you
Yeah.
as efficiently as sugar will.
Yeah, because but it will still spike your like
Insulin,
your glycemic
hormones,
index.
yeah.
Basically, the thing is that this I read in Sapiens only that basically what was our sugar source when we were hunter gatherers? It was like a fruit tree or something. So when you're going to gather, you're basically, if say two of y'all are going to gather for the whole pack, you'll be like, oh, that's a tree, and we don't find it regularly. Let's first eat between the two of us, and then let's take the remaining back for everyone, and then we'll eat from that also. So that reward mechanism became the thing because it was so rare. But now it's in your fridge, it's in all your food. So imagine, like, how can you fight evolution when it's like just one door away? Like, just open it and that's
Because
all.
at that point of time, also you would have people who would like, if we both are going, chances are Siddharth is going out with this, hey, ye milega to dekh lena thoda.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then you would have this conversation of, अरे हमेशा इसको अलग ही चाहिए रहता है कुछ. अपन बोलते हैं अरे नहीं वो मार्केट लोग खा लिया नहीं मिला अपने को.
Exactly.
एप्पल ही आज के लिए, आज कीवी नहीं है, नहीं आता है.
No Mosambbi for today. Yeah.
But now you can't, because if it's through an app,
Yeah.
all 5 of us can have a different vice.
Plus, you both were going to gather. Like, that's not like, where's the gathering part? Like, now you walk 5 kilometers and have a small whatever treat.
Yeah.
That's a different story as compared to.
How will millennia later,
Yeah.
how will people interpret the Swiggy delivery guy when they find remains and all?
Yeah,
Of a guy on a scooter.
Oh, yeah.
Just like
Oh, once they excavate our civilization.
Yeah.
How many selfie sticks are they going to find? Like, how many ring lights? It'll be like, what was happening then?
They're just horrible people, man.
Yeah.
They were so self-involved and क्या बनाया,
Yeah.
क्या किया, क्या मालूम. To what end, I think they also did not know.
Yeah.
I think we are just that Earth Prime X1, which
Yeah.
is like a failed experiment on a shelf of everything.
Different, yeah.
इधर तो पब्लिक का choices अजीब ही था. प्लास्टिक बना के बैठ गया. It's a clear cut. Don't do this.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask about your reading का thing. I remember Mayur को तू एक book दिया था.
हाँ.
The Hidden Coup करके.
The silent coup.
The Silent Coup.
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
So, do you read a lot of non-fiction and not controversy, non-fiction conspiracy stuff and all also?
That book isn't exactly conspiracy, but it's investigative journalism.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
I word shelf में से गलत निकल गया.
I mean, so this book, there's this writer called Josie Joseph, whose first book, a friend of mine who reads a lot of non-fiction suggested, and it was so good. And I read that during the lockdown, but I read it in like 2 days because I was like, screw everything else with me. Then he came up with this book. This book was like way more darker than what I was expecting because if you read that in India, you're going to be sad. It's about the Indian deep state. And that book was, I was in a very bad place. And I read it in December, the holiday month of the year. I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? But I didn't, but it was still so engrossing. But at the same time, like fucking me up. I was like, I don't know how I have to finish it and process all these feelings.
ये बहुत information, बहुत ज़्यादा important information.
Exactly. Yeah, you can't.
ये
You
आधा
can't.
नहीं जान सकते
Exactly.
मैं.
Since then, I'm like, let's stay away from politics as far as you can. Like, let's just try to live a
Because
life.
it's a rabbit hole, dude.
Yeah.
And there are some books like that which are so interesting, some concepts which you can't consume it at once.
Yeah.
You have to ration it to process it.
Yeah, Black Mirror is that way for me.
Black Mirror, yeah.
Yeah.
Seen a
एक
few
episode
episodes,
देखता है
but
चार साल
थोड़े time
बाद.
के बाद, yeah. You have to do that because, but so that book, I mean, obviously, I read a lot of non-fiction. We were just discussing that pre this show. Because when everyone says like I like non-fiction because it's like just fast read and it's fun and it's very interesting, like the kind of information we live in, the age of information. So obviously like लोग ने नाम खराब किया है नॉन फिक्शन का बोल के सेल्फ हेल्प है बट सेल्फ हेल्प इज अ वेरी स्मॉल पार्ट ऑफ all of it. In fact, for self help, just like listen to a podcast or something and get it. But there's a lot of, I mean, you have to mix it up. Like sometimes I'll do a story, sometimes I'll be like, it's always what vibe do you want exactly.
Also, there is a lot to gain from the non-fiction thing as well, because you're getting to know some fact about something that has happened,
Exactly.
rather than the emotional roller coaster ride that some teenager is going through in some other place, which will just take you on your own emotional ride as
Exactly.
well. So rather than let me just know 18th century what was happening.
Exactly.
That's more entertaining.
Yeah, like if you're reading a book about Mossad, you're like, I don't want to watch a full series, but in short stories, if you're giving me one like
Greatest hits.
Greatest hits, exactly. I'm like, I'll watch it pretty fast. Yeah.
That is one collection of stories I would like to read, greatest assassinations of all time.
Oh, there's a book on Mossad.
There is?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Not Assass, but Mossad, like
Mossad
way it
Nights.
functions.
what's the word? Mossad, the
Spy
operation.
organization.
No, operations, right? Like, operations.
Yeah. So it's
Mossad's
that.
like different, like success-ful operations.
Correct.
The
The Mossad files, basically.
Mossad
like
files,
Mossad
exactly. It's exactly that. So and there is like just too much non-fiction fun things. That
And it's also fun to imagine that so much of whatever happened was captured on paper and then kept in a and then put together for everybody else to read and just be like, oh really,
exactly.
this way?
Yeah.
My God, who would
Like
have
I
thought?
think filing system started for that reason. Dude, this is too cool. Let's just
Let's just
There's this one guy who worked for the KGB and Mitrokin Archives, it's called. The book, I have it, I've not read it because it's like some 1,000 pages and I got like I'll come to this because this is another vibe altogether. But the same thing. He used to go to his like farmhouse because he worked for the KGB, so he used to go and like plow the field and shit, like pura matti वट्टी के नीचे डाल के रखा for years. Then he went to England. He's like, okay, give me political asylum. Then he's like, cool, okay, I'm going back. Then he went back, got the files out. He's like, let's take it out. So, and then Russia saying, no, this guy was all bullshit. And then the whole like thing, they're saying, no, it's true. So it's like, how do you, That's the best thing I think that's come out of like Russia, which is like fake news. They started fake news. Like they were the main people who started. Like, not the best thing, but like the most evil thing. I'm like, oh, like because they wanted to spread, I think the whole AIDS story, if I'm not wrong, one of the stories which they wanted to like spread, or I think maybe it was AIDS or something where about America essentially. I don't know what story it was, but then what they did is they paid someone. They got it done in an Indian newspaper. In fact, I can't find that video. I've been trying to look for it. How they spread fake information. They got like some guy in India, some newspaper, which you can easily bribe. So I'm talking about 70s, 80s and stuff. I don't know. Today also clearly. So you get a story published here. You get like some some guy in like UK to publish a random paper there. And they're like, oh, headlines mein bhi aaya, India mein, wahan pe bhi aaya. And then you keep making it and then suddenly it becomes the truth. And they're like, this is all Yeah.
I just got I was just thinking, well, what if this thing
Yeah.
they have actually paid to get scrubbed out and whatnot, and Siddharth remembers this and he has brought it up, and suddenly
Oh,
they're like, we haven't done it completely properly.
They have bigger problems for now before they deal with me.
There'll be one KGB agent. I know how to get him, and he just opens a small box and it's just sugar.
You know what?
Cheesecakes.
That is what we are going to end this episode on. A line of sugar. Any line of white powder, stay away from.
Yeah.
That is the moral of this particular episode.
Yeah.
This brings us to the end of the Radical Measures podcast with Siddharth Dudeja. Do follow him on Instagram and other social media handles as well. We will be mentioning them in the description at the bottom. He has his work out on YouTube, as I had mentioned before. Very funny guy. So if you see his poster on Book My Show, book tickets, watch him live. Because again, as I'm mentioning, that is the relationship he cares about the most. Second is YouTube subscriber base. So do that as well.
Yeah.
And we will be sharing. That's it.
That's
All
it.
right. Bye bye.
Bye.
तुम लोग के साथ शेयर नहीं करने का अभी हो गया. Bye bye.
Long live sugar.